close in the first game in general, but the second game, TheOne looked dominant. It's such a huge shout out to Soa that they were even able to survive that long. 3-level deficit, 12 kill deficit. They should have, 18 kill deficit at one point. They should have absolutely lost that so much quicker. So instead, TheOne, as we head into the next map, are taking Soa to a map they've not played in HGC China yet, whereas Soa, they've also only played it once.
Yeah, it's a big surprise because TheOne, as you said, have yet to play a single map on this one, but by them choosing the battleground, actually, you can definitely see that they will have prepared at least a hero or two for this one. And so, on the other hand, only having played once is not really the greatest of experience pool they can fall back on, is it?
No, not really. Outside of their own practices, and practices versus tournament format are very different kettles of fish. As this is a familiar start to a draft, Genji ban, Maiev ban, immediately into Hanzo pick. But this did work out for Sora in the first game. So far, Hanzo is winning the majority of the games he is being played in today.
Sorry, I was just having a giggle because I saw TY down there in the webcam struggling with both his headset and the glasses. Alright, Hanzo is such a staple. I think he's basically sitting on 100% win rate in this series up to this point. Whoever has really Hanzo in their arsenal will win the map very likely. And many people were speculating, does Hanzo still have what it takes, or is he's become an old man up to this point after all those balance changes? But no, he is still in it. Although the builds have shifted away from, you know, chunking down armor, he's just so good at poking down with simple geometry and the W talents in general.
At least in China, that is. He is being picked up repeatedly and continuing to win all the games. We'll have to see how the Western Clash prioritizes China once that comes up, as that is coming very soon.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we see Falstad and Tyrael. I think this is without a doubt one of Tyrael's strongest maps. For many reasons. A, strong protection is basically good on any map. But B, really, really good to have holy grounds later on. There's so many mercenary camps that he can steal away. The boss camp, of course, counts as that as well. And so many choke points where you can either lock someone in or prevent the enemy team from accessing it. And especially when it comes to securing altars or bell towers in the late game, that could always come in handy. So Tyrael, I really agree with Soa on the fact that they prioritized him so heavily.
I agree, and the fact that they also are going back to one of their old favorites, the Falstad. It is incredibly effective when they play it, so excited to see that. Also, I believe it was banned last game. That's how good it is for them, and it wasn't banned in the first game, where they used it to great effect.
Right, Falstad, of course, being a very cheeky one, could always cause a little bit of commotion in the other lanes, thanks to his global presence. And also, let's not forget at how important a Mighty Gust could be here potentially when it comes to keeping enemies, keeping zappers at bay, for example, to prevent them from crossing the line of death, for example. There's so many versatile moves a Falstad can pull off here that I really like the early pick there as well. Now, Arthur's actually getting banned by TheOne, although they just came in from a game where they dominated. I think it's just a preemptive measure of maybe paving the way of an Illidan for Hugo.
Ooh, this would be an interesting map for it. This is a map where global heroes can have really great effect. It kind of leads away from either of these teams picking an Abathur. Well, that definitely leads away from either of these teams picking an Abathur, as it is removed.
Yeah, that would have been the ultimate god mode for Hugo, basically. Banning away Arthas and getting Abathur support on top of you on the Illidan. That could have been insane. But is he even going to go Illidan? Or was it all a baiting maneuver for them to lure Soa maybe into banning something like Abathur?
Well, Abathur is a solid ban anyway, so if it was a bait, it's a very silly one. Unless they knew something, they knew that Soa knew something that was super secret and super powerful that could have been banned out in one ban, then Abathur's just a solid ban in general. It's very likely that they were just hoping that Soa would let it through and going for the strategy you were suggesting, whether with Illidan or with something else like maybe Greymane, as he is still available.
Greymane is still available. Genji's not available. I was going to say that could have been a good one for them, but he is banned out by Soa. It could always be a nice map for Tracer as well. We've seen a lot of Tracer traditionally. There's Malfurion already being locked in as the first pick, so that would really add on very nicely. And we end up seeing both of our picks. Yay!
Hurrah! Auto attacks for days, and as such, the other spam begins to make a lot more sense. So, ways to deal with this: lines, attack speed slows. So in terms of tanks, the second tank, Muradin and Johanna both jump to mind immediately.
Yeah, and of course Hugo's pick for the one is still missing. We see him on the webcam right now. Hugo could go for Leoric, not the worst of options here once again. Could go for the Dahaka even if you want to cancel out the global advantage that Soa would otherwise have thanks to Falstad.
Without having to take the risk of switching ETC to a stage dive. It's not exactly a risk, but you do lose on Mosh potential, and Mosh is really good. So that is an option that they have if that is the direction they wish to go. So on the other hand, they still need their support, and like we said, probably a second tank. Tyrael, not the best solo tank, and especially not in terms of engage potential, as he has, well, none, unless he takes Judgment. Or until he gets 13, and he's able to block people with Holy Ground.
And I'm not sure if you want to go 4 squishies against Tracer Greymane. That is certainly a big risk, and they go quite the opposite of 4 squishies here with Diablo in the mix, and Uther joining the fray as well. And Tetra, let me tell you something about choke points. I managed choke points because of Tyrael. You know, Holy Ground could get a lot of value. Guess who's very happy about a wall or 2 next to him?
That would be the Lord of Terror himself, Diablo, and that is going to be good. But this does lead into a hero we were just saying. This is an amazing Leoric pick right now.
Yeah, Leoric or maybe a Blaze, who's still available as well. Blaze, of course, being a little bit more protective when it comes to letting people hide in the bunker, maybe against Apocalypse, for example, maybe when it comes to dodging a Mighty Gust. If perfect bunker timing hits, that could be huge for the one. But as you said, Leoric is so good against Diablo, one of the least mobile warriors when it comes to running away from Drain Hope.
Exactly, but let's see if that is what they go for, or do they have something else in mind? They have the ETC already, so a global hero, as you suggested earlier, like Dahaka, could set up for a Mosh Pit if they wanted to go for it, but they stick with Leoric. Percentage damage against the tanks, backline harassment against Hanzo and Falstad, all very useful and very powerful. We see the skins swapping around as the players select their heroes.
Yeah, so the one, they're sticking to the old guns they used in the past already. Leoric being locked in, strong tank shredding available thanks to Dragon Hope. On top of that, we're probably going to see a Cursed Bullet, which could also have great value against both Tyrael and Diablo there. But Go for the Hero can never be underestimated either. Now, the one. Could they take this opportunity and create a lot of momentum for themselves? Or is Soa going to come back swinging, once again taking a lead in this best of 5?
We shall find out very soon. Towers of Doom. The global potential is pretty huge. Now, Leoric is not a global hero, but once he gets Ominous Wraith and Royal Focus, he is crazy mobile and can actually rotate with great speed, crossing full lanes in a single bound, as this will allow him to soak multiple lanes and also arrive at objectives within decent time.
The teams are getting ready. You can feel the tension crackling in the air because so much is on the line. For both teams, it would be their very first appearance at an international tournament, the Eastern Clash, coming up in Taiwan in a couple of weeks from now. For now, though, we're going to go onto the Towers of Doom map. We're going to introduce the blue team once again, just in case you do not know who they are. We've got Hugo on Leoric, Lucky plays on Greymane, Meng is on that Tracer, Zato plays Malfurion, and ETC is being controlled by Hehe.
And on the right-hand side, it is Soa fighting from the lower seed. We have Faye on Tyrael, Uncle G on Uther, TY on the Falstad, Clog on the Diablo, and Sorry is playing Hanzo.
Sorry once again for all those Chinese experts, or HGC China experts, I should say. He is a substitute, replacing Molly, who's unfortunately sick and couldn't make it to what could be the most important series they have ever played under the banner of Soa. Sorry though, filling in quite nicely, playing strong ranged assassins, and once again back on the Hanzo. Let's see how much of a difference he can make in this game.
We see the mercenary, see the minion waves being cleared up very quickly. Very quick clear by Sora in the bot lane. That does force ETC down here very quickly. His rotation route is slightly changed via the Fire Stomp from Klong. So Talons at level 1, pretty standard for everything. Viciousness coming in for Greymane. That's worth talking about, worth mentioning at least a little bit. And Simple Geometry for Hanzo.
And I can't stress enough how important it is for Klong to perform very well on that Diablo. Now, is TY going to smell the cake, or is he going to fall victim to a gank here? Nope. He knows exactly that something smelled a little fishy. But yeah, back to what I was trying to say, Tetra. Klong on that Diablo, he's going to have to play so carefully. Although being a beefy Lord of Terror, there's a lot of percentage damage as the game goes on. The Spike Bomb by Tracer, dealing great damage the more HP your target has. Then of course the Curse Bullet is an option, and Drain Hope. But if Klong manages to play safely and get good engages, he can single-handedly win team fights later on, after domination at 16 and completed quests with devastating charge.
Which can be, like you said, absolutely dominant. Diablo is often picked against those heroes with hypermobility like Genji. Tracer a little bit less though. Tracer has a single little bit of ability called Recall, which can be a saving grace against Diablo, but he still is one of the better heroes when it comes to engaging as HGC. It actually finds more than he can chew, but nice power slide. Keep himself safe. Long. He can actually take a little bit of a longer rotation. This was so worrisome for Soa here that they actually rotate and sacrifice some health on that top lane.
So basically, they're making sure that nobody's going to die in their own ranks, but they give up soak and structural progress here. TY also going for the most obvious rotation path and immediately gets intercepted by Tracer and Hugo on that Leoric. They were patiently waiting for his arrival. Meng just superior game sense, beautifully done there. A little bit reckless, though, by TY as well. You could actually question if it was worth flying in there, because what if they had lost the mercenary camp, Tetcher? Nothing would have happened, right? They could have pulled back and they could have dealt with it. But now, not only did they lose Falstad because of obvious movement paths, but also they lost the towers in the top lane.
That's pretty rough, especially considering the XP that is given over by these. Klong's going to take a little bit of damage. May actually die here with the root. A lot of damage. Armor being applied by Uther to keep him alive.
Oh, no way.
The kill, though.
Meng the Menace destroying our Diablo here, and that death of the main tank now allows the One to go for greedy plays, pulling away forces from the bottom, trying to contest the One on Soa's side even, but we have Hanzo here. Simple geometry. The scattering arrow is going to be crucial when it comes to delaying, but he can't do it. Too many forces were taken away already.
Looks like it's going to be a 2-for-1. Tyrael and Falstad were able to secure at least their own side objective. So it's only going to be a 4-point lead on the core health for the One, but they are also going to extend their XP lead as they have once again found TY and are easily able to take him down.
This time he gave his life for a good cause, though. They're snatching away the zappers on the bottom-hand side. Now, can they keep everybody alive? Sorry, going in for a good natural agility swing. The ult is good, though, and he gets blown to pieces by his Overwatch comrade. Another stun onto Diablo, but not enough damage left. And TY, it pains me to see him fall like this over and over again, because he was the dominant factor in game number 1. But it seems to me like he hasn't really found his rhythm in this game yet.
Not yet anyway, but level 10 will hopefully assist with that. Faye having to teleport over the wall. So we're stealing away the camp of the One, but losing a member, the One will steal a camp with no such problems due to a significant level advantage.
Now, Soa can afford to take things a little bit more slowly here. It is Towers of Doom, after all, probably one of the more forgiving maps if you fall behind, but they can't too long to basically start a little bit of a comeback here, because if they maintain a 1, maybe 2-level disadvantage, it's not going to be easier to necessarily take all these altars. Now, they could still go for a 1-1 split here. Let's see if they're actually going to do this, or if they play a little bit more aggressively.
We're actually going to see Soa backing all the way back up to their non-existent towers to try and give themselves a better situation and not get themselves caught out. Diablo has found an enemy hero down here, but was not able to finish off Lucky thanks to Ice in the Dark. So it does look like this will end up being an attempted 1-for-1 by Soa, as the One do not have level 10 yet. It would be very unfortunate if they were to die now and give up that nice lead they have before 10.
Yeah, this is all good for now. Temples, altars are shared. This is both good for the One and Soa. However, a little bit better for the One, because as you said, the experience gap is starting to grow and extend as we continue to see Tracer going for another potential gank. TY on these tippy toes this time around, though.
He's reacting. He's playing a lot safer this time. Doesn't want to keep going down.
Wait a minute.
Whoa! That is I mean,
Hanzo's gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna race it. They will take this. Hugo is here. He's scouted. ETC is running in. So here comes the stage dive. It's gonna be a 2 versus 4 here on the point as they start to shred through. But the Black King, they're delaying. They've given time. TY arrives. It's gonna be a 4 versus 4.
They're gonna steal it!
Trying to go onto the point. The Twilight Dream.
Massacre!
They're not only gonna steal it, Kendrick. They're gonna massacre Soa. Beautiful delay by ETC and Leoric.
Hugo and Hihi, the two frontliners, buying so much time for the rest of their teammates to arrive. They're unkillable frontliners, but basically destroy all the hopes and dreams of Soa of taking a cheeky boss. They had no dislocation with the exception of Diablo. Only he could have maybe thrown somebody out of the boss, but we're gonna take another look at that.
Brave walk onto the point, face melt. Diablo, he's trying to get into position, tries to tackle, but gets interrupted by the stun. As you can see, the huge fight coming forward. TY tries to arrive, but Meng is here. And once Malfurion's got that Twilight Dream down, it is all over. The level 10 advantage for the One. Yep. Allowing them to dominate that, steal the shots, and continue to pile pressure onto Soa, now with a 2-level lead.
If only Holy Ground had been available, but of course it was way too early for that to really happen.
Even Sank and Gus, they would have easily got that.
Exactly. And Soa is trying to go for an all-in strategy here. Uther abandoning the Divine Shield. He's saying, okay, if we're gonna win this, we're gonna storm it out here. So many aggressive heroic abilities here by Uther now. Could really make all the difference. Level 10, of course, is here now. That's why Hugo had to pull back. Mercenary camp was chosen, but I completely agree with this call, by the way. I really think that if you want to lock Tracer down, and if you want to shut her down, it's oftentimes better to double stun her rather than saving a target that gets hit by the spike bomb.
I would agree, but it's going to be hard to pull off here. For now, we're going to see a quick trade on bell towers because they're they should at minimum be able to get this. They're going to sacrifice 2 health on their core because of the sappers, but at least they will even up the bell tower count, at least for the time being, which means they can attempt to get themselves back in the game in another way, like maybe killing this Tracer if she's not careful, but she will in fact back up. He will finish this off. He has stage dive. Remember, he is the global for his team now.
Yeah, what I think is even more important for Soa than getting a bell tower is the experience. Nice shot right there. Yeah, but getting back in experience is their primary objective right now. They need to catch up at all costs. 2 levels behind is it's quite bad, but it's not impossible for them to still win the game.
Yeah, I mean, they came back from a 3-level, almost came back from a 3-level lead literally last game. There's always a chance, and considering they have absolutely gone for the go hard or go home comeback strategy, they're either going to lose this game pretty hard or give them amazing comeback potential. Move forward. Oh,
nobody saw that. Nobody saw that.
Uncle G. That was just a good play. Stage dive comes in. Nice gust to give them the chance to escape as well. And Soa will be able to disengage from this.
The storm of nothing, unfortunately, here for Uncle G. He was trying to nail down ETC, who was already far away again. Fei under a lot of pressure. Meng is getting cheeky. Meng is getting aggressive. 2 altars getting good shots as well. 5 shots, actually 10 in total. And the core of Soa is going to go down all the way to 8.
Clutch heal on TY, but like you said, the core is just ticking it down with time as Soa defend their base, but on this map, there is no such fit. It is very difficult to snowball because as long as you have 1 health on your core, you are ready to go, and you can always create a comeback.
9 seconds until the mighty guess. They need to keep the enemy forces, including the zappers, at bay if they want to prevent any more core damage. But it looks like the One realized our bell tower is way too low. We can't really defend that anymore, so we may as well just abandon the zappers in their pushing endeavors. So trying to get new zappers, fresh ones, replacing the old ones.
Put more pressure on, but now Soa have finally reclaimed their bell tower. This will give them level 13, actually even them up in terms of talent. Still a 2-level deficit, but the talents at least are even, meaning that they can actually fight on with some kind of power spike. Even terms, it's just absolutely inaccurate here, but Holy Ground is now available. That's going to make the boss being stolen a lot harder. ETC, though, so much value out of this global capability.
He's playing this ETC like a Dehaka right now. Always trying to lure away enemies, always trying to get a little bit of split-soaking value, and TY needs to be double careful here against all that burst potential with Grayman and Tracer. He's already died plenty of times in this game. And he's definitely going to be more aware right now. 3-level lead, though. Tetra incoming for TheOne. And
TheOne gets
this is
2 ulters here.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
GG.
So it needs to go in all or nothing.
Exactly, that's the idea. Looks like they're going to group up on bot and commit to that. They have their global hero capping top, so he can rejoin at any point. They focus here.
Stun chain is real!
Kill him before Marsh. Yes, they can. They get it. Falstad grabbed his teams. He's now rejoined his team. It's a 5v3 down here as Leoric isn't even close to being in position. They take the shots and they keep themselves in this game.
Soa stays alive for now. Stun, stun, stun. That's all they say. And they just blew ETC to pieces. I apologize for the clean feed acting up here a little bit.
I'm going to do the same. You're lagging as well.
Okay, yeah. I just had to restart. I'm sitting at 11 seconds.
I am refreshing now.
But I'm not the only one.
Yeah, 10, I will attempt. No, 11, there we go.
Perfect.
It sometimes takes a little bit to settle.
In the meantime, we
Also,
see...
boss taken, removing another win condition. Soa slowly and methodically keeping the lethal options away, but they're down 2 bell towers.
Yeah.
That's a rough position, but the next objective is a single objective. They can just fight 5v5. As long as they can take top bell tower and defend mid for a while, they should be okay.
Yeah, and they need to make something happen really fast. The defense is looking good. The middle bell tower is staying healthy for now, and top lane is falling slowly but surely. But Tetra, as you said, 3 unfortunately is the magical number. You're gonna die to anything. The boss, Apog is good though!
The Twilight Dream counter though. Diablo goes down, sanctification, Imperial Dragon, Arrow, Divine Storm overlapping just a little. And as such, Uncle G focused down. Top bell tower is reclaimed just in time for mid to go down. This will prevent the triple cap and the shots. Diablo as well, being able to revive will give them the chance, but with Uther dead for 26 more seconds, objective up in 14. I don't think they can do it. They have to fight 4v5 and level down.
And all of their heroic abilities are on cooldown too. The Apocalypse, the Dragon's Arrow. This is almost impossible for Soa to hold. This is a surprising age!
That's so huge. They've been able to kill it off E. Now is trying to do it. He moving in. He does not have stage time. Remember, he went for Mosh. Gust is used very early here. Leoric into the backline, trying to focus down TY, the damage dealer. Hanzo gets deleted. Clog keeping his team in the game by focusing down the Malfurion, but he's very much alone. Faye drops the shield. TY's alive. Leoric's very far forward as Clog goes down. Tyrael can't delay. That is it. Nice job by TheOne controlling the area there. And they move into a 2-1 lead.
So,